Now we're going to look at cross-price elasticity of demand. So this is the last one of the elasticity of demand that we're going to look at. And this is measuring the responsiveness of the quantity demanded for one product in relation to the change of the price of another product. So we're going to get a definition here that's, or an equation, sorry, that's very, very similar to PED, but instead of it being kind of ending here, we're looking at percentage change in quantity demanded of product A after a change in the price of product B, percentage change in the price of product B. So again, I'm going to stick with egg sandwiches, but another sandwich that I like is tuna sandwiches as well, and they're both sandwiches, so they're substitutes for each other, we know. So let's have a look at what the XED figure is if we if we look at the price change of tuna sandwiches from £1.50 to £2, and then we see that the quantity demanded of egg sandwiches has changed from 200 to 300, which we'd expect. If the price of tuna sandwiches have gone up, we see that people switch to egg sandwiches. So let's have a look at how sensitive it is then. So this would be a change of 50p over the original price, which was £1.50. So it's 0.3 reoccurring, or 33.3 reoccurring percent. And 200 to 300 is 100 over 200, which the 200 was the original quantity. So that's not 0.5, there should be a point there, sorry, or 50% if you want to keep it in percentages. So when we do 50% over 33.3 reoccurring percent, we find, and both of these would be positive signs because they're both increased, we find the XED is 1.5, meaning it's elastic, because it starts with a number 1.5 rather than 0, and because it's positive, it means it's a substitute. So there's actually, like YED, we can actually interpret a little bit more from these figures than we could with just PED. So it's going to measure the relationship between two different products. But if it's a positive answer, as we've just had, it means that they're substitutes, and if it comes out as a negative answer, it means that they're complements. If it comes out as a 0, it means that there's no relationship between the two products. The larger the number is, either negative or positive, the stronger the relationship. So the larger the number is, it means that it's elastic. So elastic means a strong relationship, and inelastic means a weak relationship. But a relationship all the same, unless it's 0. So why is it important for the business? So if the product, if the business has a product with a high, so elastic, and positive XED, so it's an elastic substitute, then they may lower the price to gain market share because they know that it's a substitute for another product and it's quite a close substitute as well. So price probably would be an important factor. And they may even try to make the product less elastic compared to the other product because they might be thinking of investing in branding or advertising, and that could maybe lessen the elasticity of it. So they do, if they did have a price change, they know that they'd lose fewer customers if they could make it less elastic. However, if it's a complement, then a business would really want to be aware of this relationship, because they might want to be aware of how it could affect the demand for another product if they sell both of the products in their store, and because that would have implications for stock control and those types of things. But they also might want to think about the merchandising and the display of the item in store, so they might want to display them together. So you often see this actually if you're in a supermarket and you walk down the aisle that has the wine in. You often see those bags, those gift bags that are especially made for wine bottles, hanging there. You see corkscrews and those types of things, suggesting that those are complements. It'd be logical that they are. People do consume and buy wine as presents and therefore put them in gift baskets, and people do consume or buy wine with the intention of drinking it. So it's quite logical that they might want something to be able to open the wine and get into it to be able to consume it. So they've, the supermarkets have thought about this and they've intentionally displayed those items together. So that concludes all of this stuff here. So you needed to watch the PED video, the YED video, and this XED video to understand all of these specification objectives here.